Welcome back to the Cleveland Guardians 2026 season preview. Baseball is hot. It is red hot right now, especially after Team USA beating the Dominican Republic. We're recording this Monday, the 16th, right before the Venezuela-Italy game. So, Eli, I'm going to ask you to give me your predictions on tonight's semifinal game. Who do you have winning, and then who do you have winning it all?
I don't know. This one's going to be a tough one. I want to say Venezuela, but Italy's riding such a hot streak right now.
If Venezuela wins, I think
I got,
if Venezuela wins tonight, I think USA wins. I think if Italy wins tonight, Italy wins it all.
Yeah,
Which
that's what I'm
just gonna
thinking.
say. I'm just gonna say I called Italy being a sleeper pick for this entire tournament on our WBC episode.
That is true. You did.
Can I claim that? Can I claim that?
Yeah.
So, although I think the WBC should be performing PED testing, these espresso shots Team Italy keeps doing in the dugout, because the amount of home runs they've hit this World Baseball Classic is insane.
It's crazy.
Okay, let's get into this. This is your 2026 Cleveland Guardians season preview for the minor league teams. If you haven't listened to any of our other episodes, first of all, what in the heck are you doing? Go back and listen to them. Secondly, kind of a layout of the show. We're going to go through each team, this where they're located, their stadium, the division they play in, and their record last year, and also some notes if they made it to the playoffs and things like that. And then Eli and I have talked, and we have created our own top 10 list for each team. And then we're going to go through the top 10 list that we have created for these teams. So, Cleveland Guardians, gonna be honest with you, looking at this organization, did not realize how loaded they are. They have 6 guys in the top 100 list by MILB. I think that's the highest. No other team has more than 6, right? The Mariners had 7, and then when they traded Sagetti to the Cardinals, they dropped to 6.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, Guardians come in with 6 guys in this top 100 list, and just because they're in the top 100 does not mean that they are lacking once you get out of this top 100 list. They have a lot of guys that can make contention for why they should be on this list. So, all right, do you want to lead off on the teams, or you want me to take the teams?
You can do the teams.
Okay. Single A for the Cleveland Guardians is the Hill City Howlers, a new identity for Hill City, or for this team this year. They've completely rebranded. We've talked about it before on our podcast, where now with the Howlers, they have what is it? 5 other. They have a main logo and then 4 alternate, right? Am I right on that, or am I wrong?
No.
And all of them have to do with something spooky, something like that. What are you
It's
gonna
the
say?
main one, because the main one's the werewolf. You've got,
they've got
the vampire,
like the bride of Frankenstein, a mummy, and then a skeleton, right?
No, it's like an outfield monster.
An outfield monster. Yes. Was it? What episode was it?
I think that would have been.
Was it episode 5 we talked about them?
I believe so. I can double check real quick.
I'm looking right now. Don't worry about it. Yes, it is episode 5. Indy the werewolf, Victor the vampire, Gilly the creature, which is a lake monster. It's a lake monster. And then Murray the mummy and Daisy the bride, who's the bride of Frankenstein. So those are all the alternate identities. And each one has a story. that has to do with the position that the monsters correlate to. So it's kind of cool how they did that. But the Hill City Howlers play in Lynchburg, Virginia at City Stadium. They play in the Carolina League in the northern part of that division. They had a record last year of 70-59. They made it to the playoffs and won the championship, actually. So our first champion, if I'm not mistaken, that we've talked about in our breakdowns of each teams. Moving to high A. Oh,
No,
am
I
I
thought we
missing
talked
somebody?
about one before.
Oh, Birmingham, my bad.
Yeah.
Moving to high A, the Lake County Captains, located in East Lake, Ohio. They play at Classic Auto Group Park. They play in the Midwest League. They're in the Eastern Division of the Midwest League. They had a record last year of 74-58. They made it to the playoffs, made it to the championship, and I believe they were swept from the championship for high A. Moving on to double A. And honestly, when you think of minor league baseball, this is one of the first logos you think of or identities you think of. This is up there with the Isotopes, with the Biscuits, with the Trash Pandas, and that is the Akron Rubber Ducks, located in Akron, Ohio. They play at the 717 Credit Union Park. They play in the Eastern League in the Southwest Division. They had a record last year of 77-60, which I'm going to double check, because if they did not make it to the playoffs with a 77-60 record, that shows you how stacked that division is.
From what I saw when I did it, they didn't.
No, they didn't. No. Shockingly, with a 77-60 record. Geez, I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of these things. We're gonna get into some of these teams later. Jeez, wow. Then we move to AAA, which is the Columbus Clippers, who's also in Columbus, Ohio. They play at Huntington Park. They play in the International League in the Western Division, and they had a record last year of 64-81. Yeah, I think that's all of our team breakdown. You want to lead us off with the number one player on our top 10 list?
Sure. So number one on our list is Travis Bazzana. He's a second baseman in the Guardians organization. He's the number 20 prospect, the number one second base prospect. He is a 2024 first round draft pick. Played between rookie, AA, and AAA last year. Had a 245 average, 389 on base percentage, 424 slugging, 9 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases. And he was also a part of the Australian team for the World Baseball Classic. Has very good discipline when it comes to his approach at the plate. Focuses on working the gaps a lot. His only downside right now is he needs to work on his arm strength a little. Kind of has an average arm.
Yeah, I think Bazzana made his name well known throughout baseball now after playing in the World Baseball Classic. Especially with the pool that Australia played in, that they actually started a day before, technically, in America, the day before the tournament really started. And so you got a chance to see this Australian team play. And Bazzana did get himself a home run while playing in the World Baseball Classic when being a part of that Australian team. Believe that was against Chinese Taipei, if I'm not mistaken. The thing about Bazzana, though, is he is a true Australian. Believe it or not, he's not from America with Australian descent. He's actually from Australia. He comes from what I would say a college baseball blue blood in Oregon State. So I mean, this is a guy that plays at Oregon State, was a Cape Cod, which, if you don't know what the Cape Cod League is, that's another conversation we can have for another day. And was awarded MVP of the Cape Cod League, which is quite impressive, to be honest with you. with how loaded they are, though, in the middle infield, a lot of scouts believe that he'll make a transition to the outfield so that he can still keep playing. Kind of gives me Harrison Bader vibes, I'm not going to lie, when you watch him play. Just his stance, the way he plays, and everything like that.
No, I mean that's understandable. I don't necessarily know if I would move him to the outfield, especially with how they say his arm is.
No, I got you on that part. I understand where you're coming from on that part. Yeah, I think he'd be more like a corner outfielder than a middle out than playing center field. He could play right or left, to be honest with you. Moving on to number 2 on our list, who is an
I
outfielder,
still
we
don't
have
know.
Chase. We got Chase DeLauder, outfield prospect for the Guardians. He is the number 46 prospect in all of baseball. He's the number 10 prospect in the outfield. He had a 264 batting average, a 379 on base percentage, a 473 slugging, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, and 1 stolen bases. 2025, he did play rookie ball in AAA. He only played in 42 games last year, which, believe it or not, he's been in professional baseball with the Guardians for 3 years now, okay? He's never once played more than 60 games in a season. The most he ever
That's
played was
not
in
good.
2023 at 57 games. 24, he played 39, and last year he played 25. Reason being is that he had a core muscle surgery that delayed him last year and took him out. But you ready for an interesting fact? He is he's the 6th player all time to ever make his professional debut in the playoffs. He had 2 starts for the Guardians in the wild card round in the AL in the playoffs last year. A left-handed bat, throws with his right arm. He was the first-round draft pick in 2022. Has a good bat and honestly has a very solid eye at the plate. The ability to recognize pitches. The only thing, though, is that his swing can get ahead of himself, which causes him to swing off his front foot sometimes. And I think the biggest question for him this year is, can he stay healthy? I mean, you have a guy that's played he's really played, if I'm doing the math off the top of my head, less than 200 games in 3 years.
Yeah.
Like less than 150, honestly, in 3 years. So it'll be interesting to see what these numbers look like whenever he is fully healthy.
Number 3 on our list is Ralphie Velasquez. He is a first baseman. He's the number 89 prospect, the number 4th first base prospect. Played high A and double A. Had a 265 average, a 342 on base percentage, a 497 slugging, 22 home runs, 85 RBIs, 1 stolen base. Is a 2023 first-round draft pick. Has really impressive bat speed and strength. The only downside is defensive ability in the field. You have outfield listed.
Sorry, my bad. Should be. Well, he is an outfielder. He's an outfielder too, which is why people think that he'll make the swap to infield and stay in the infield.
Would that have been nice to know?
Sorry. That's why you need to read these before we record.
It says first base.
I'm just saying.
Well, I got schoolwork.
But yeah, it shows his lack of range in left field is very noticeable, they say, when watching him play. Moving to number 4 on our list is Angel Giano, shortstop prospect in the Guardians organization. He is the number 66 prospect in all of baseball. In 2025, he had an average of 263, an on-base percentage of 332, a slugging of 382. He had 5 home runs, 42 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases. 2025, he split that between rookie ball and Double-A. He only played in 85 games last year. He did suffer a right shoulder strain last season, which costed him the first 2 months of his season, which caused honestly a down year in his stats. Pros, he's a good contact hitter. Has a solid swing, and you're not gonna like this, but he has more power from the right side than the left-hand side. I know how you feel about that. If you want to go on your tangent now, you can.
Not another one.
I think his only con is that he needs to be more consistent at shortstop. Trusting his he had a meniscus tear, believe it or not, in 2023, and so they really want him to trust his ability to cut more at shortstop and be able to play the position.
Number 5 on our list is Cooper Ingle. He is a catcher. He is the number 99 prospect. Played Double-A and Triple-A last year. Had a 260 average, 389 on-base percentage, 419 slugging, 10 home runs, 55 RBIs, no stolen bases.
Which is
A
not
very
shocking.
good.
Not shocking when it comes to being a catcher.
No, not at all. A controlled hitter who knows the zone really well. Last season was a lackluster year as a defensive catcher. Needs to get more arm strength. What was his what was his steal catch rating?
Gosh, why'd you ask me these questions? Let me look it up. Doesn't say, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I can try to find it. Hold on. It looks like last year he had. This doesn't even say where I'm looking at. But in all seriousness, last year he had a very down year when it came to his catching ability, and that's something that is kind of concerning. And the fact that he needs to be a little bit more agile behind the plate and really build that arm strength up too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Moving to number 6 in our top 10 list, we have Parker Messick, the number 95th prospect in all of baseball. He was also Baseball America's 2025 Guardians Minor League Player of the Year. He had a 5-6 record last year with a 3.47 ERA. He pitched in 98 and 2/3 innings pitched with 119 strikeouts. He had an average of 216 and a whip of 122. That was over 20 starts in AAA. In the major leagues, he had 7 starts. Last year, he had a 3-1 record, a 2.72 ERA, 39 and 2/3 inning pitch with 38 strikeouts, an average against him of 289 and a whip of 131. Fastball sits in the low 90s, changeups in the mid 80s, sliders mid 80s, and curveballs in the upper 70s. He's very consistent in his delivery and the way that he gets the ball to the mound. And he does it with ease too. That's one thing to note. And he hides the ball very well. This is another guy that his ceiling is number one starter. His bottom, like his floor, would be back in the in rotation starter. But this dude has a lot better of a chance to become an everyday name in the organization as he progresses.
So, I mean, it sounds like he's on the up and up.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Number 7 on our list is Jason Chourio. He's an outfielder. Played rookie ball and high A. Had a 237 average, a 379 on base percentage, 286 slugging, 2 home runs, 26 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. He is a switch hitter. He bats better from the right side than he does the left. Very good bat speed and controls the strike zone very well. And a plush runner, which is obvious with 10 stolen bases. 2025, however, was a down year in terms of numbers. So we'll see if he'll be able to have a bounce back year and get those numbers up.
Yeah. So this is the younger brother of Jackson Chourio. The thing with him, to be honest with you, is as he made the move from rookie ball to high A, there was a sense of passivity in his approach at the plate, and that's evident also in his stats and his numbers. This is one of those things that, honestly, if you're the GM or if you're the coach, you're just like, listen, you're here for a reason, so play like it, you know?
Yeah.
Moving to number 8 on our list is Carl Stevens, right-handed pitcher in the organization. He had a 9-2 record last year, a 2.53 ERA. He pitched in 103 innings with 110 strikeouts, an average of 216, and a whip of 0.99. He did appear in 22 games last year and had 21 starts. Played in Single A, High A, and Double A. Was originally signed by the Blue Jays, or was drafted by the Blue Jays in 2024 in the second round. Was sent to the Guardians organization in the trade that sent Shane Bieber to the Blue Jays. His fastball sits low to mid 90s, sliders low 80s, splitters mid 80s, curveballs upper 70s, and his cutters upper 80s. The ceiling for this dude is very high. And looking at some of his video, the slider cutter ratio, the change of the two is ridiculous. His slider just falls off and it moves just like his cutter and has more of a break than what you would expect. Honestly, it produced a lot, like a really, really high whiff rate too. So, he's moving through the minors quick, honestly, for a guy that was drafted in 2024 to already be up in Double A, and don't see him starting anywhere other than Double A this upcoming season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, looking at the numbers, that's obvious. Number 9 on our list is Juniker Cascares. He's an outfielder. Played rookie ball and single A. Had a 270 average, 379 on base percentage, a 410 slugging, 4 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. He is only 18 years old. Very quick swing, can control the strike zone. His only downside is too many ground balls, so needs to work on making more solid contact on the ball.
Sorry, the dog. Yeah, this is a kid that's only 18 and he's already playing in Single A. He was signed last year by Cleveland. He's done nothing but hit, but honestly, really needs to work on getting the ball off the ground, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Moving to number 10 on our list, and if you're a fan of SEC baseball, this name will be very familiar to you. Jace Laviolette, the first round draft pick of the 2025 draft. He's a left-handed hitter, and there's no reason a person at 6'6" should move the way he does in the outfield. His stats at Texas A&M, he had a 258 average, a 427 on base percentage, a 576 slugging. He had 18 home runs, 61 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. This is a dude that if he can become, if he can make the leap into the professionals, he's one of those guys that honestly, when he comes up to bat, you could be like, yeah, I could see him hitting a home run here, and then he hits a home run. I think with his size, though, he's a little too big to play outfield. I think not so much his size. I'm sorry, speed. I think speed's the big issue for him. But I could see him making the transition to become an everyday first baseman in this organization. To be honest with you,
Definitely, especially with his size and stuff.
I mean, 6'6", 230 is ridiculous.
Yeah, especially for the outfield.
Yeah. All right, well, that is our breakdown for the Cleveland Guardians. Make sure you give us a follow on Instagram. Go to our Instagram. It's Around the Minor League. There you can find the links to our socials for the Spotify and Apple podcasts. There you can also find the link to our YouTube. Give us a follow on Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Spotify, and make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you guys have a good rest of your day.